strong criticism of Benjamin Netanyahu in the Israeli press this morning, Leo.
Yeah, so this is in Haaretz, the left-leaning Israeli paper that has been very critical of the PM since the events of October the 7th. This morning, they say that there's nothing that Joe Biden can do to remove Netanyahu. They say that the US president is rightly frustrated at a man who they say is incapable of taking responsibility for what happened on October the 7th. Joe Biden has supported Israel to the hilt. In return, Netanyahu has turned down all of Biden's requests that Israel take more care in avoiding casualties and any sort of ceasefire. Haaretz say that Biden's support for Israel will not waver, but instead he's targeting solely the PM himself, and he's encouraged political heavyweights such as Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi to publicly criticise Netanyahu. This article finishes by saying that the only realistic way of getting rid of Netanyahu is dissolving the parliament and holding early elections, and the Biden administration has absolutely no influence over that.
Talking about leadership, Leo, he's found a piece in the French press today asking who could one day replace Mahmoud Abbas in Palestine.
Yes, this is on the front page of French newspaper Libération this morning, asking that question: who will replace Mahmoud Abbas? In the spread that they have inside the paper, they pose that very question and they put forward two candidates and say that a new, unifying and credible Palestinian leader is needed. The two names that they put forward are Marwan Barghouti and Mohamed Daran, two men who have long been talked about as potential political leaders in the region. Barghouti comes from Ramallah and led a paramilitary group before being arrested in 2002. He's actually still in prison but receives huge support from the Palestinian people. On the other hand, Dala is from Gaza, where he led a large militia before Hamas took control in the enclave. He's a refugee currently in the UAE, but he's said to be preparing his return. Libération say that while the situation is too volatile to know what the solution is, one thing's for sure: change is coming.
Now let's move closer to home for this next story. It's a fascinating story, this next one, actually. It's a cyberbullying case which has seen a record number of convictions. Happened here in France, didn't it?
Yeah, and this is Le Parisien reporting on the case of Magali Berda. They're reporting that 28 people have been jailed for the harassment of Magali Berda in what is France's largest ever cyberbullying case. Judges found the accused guilty of harassing Berda, known in France as the Queen of the Influencers. The hate comments were spurred by a campaign by the French rapper Booba against thieving influencers, what he put as thieving influencers. Her lawyers said posts from the rapper encouraged a mob of people online to send hateful and insulting messages to Berda in what's known as a pylon, an online pylon. The court said that each of the defendants made a conscious effort to join in with the cyberbullying. The accused received jail terms ranging from 4 to 18 months. The paper notes that it's an unprecedented case, the largest of its kind, especially in France, and shows that no one's safe, even behind their keyboard, while hurtful comments made online do indeed have real-life repercussions.
And some of that is rubbing into this next story, actually, but it sort of switches gear because we're going to finish with that World Happiness report we mentioned in the news a little bit earlier. Some experts very worried about young people in particular here.
Young people like me, of course, Stuart, and this is
not like me, is what you're saying there.
I didn't say that. You said that. I didn't say that at all. I might have implied it. I didn't say it. But this is in The Guardian today. This analysis piece says that the report sounds the alarm about the welfare of young people. The latest World Happiness report shows that a large and growing number of people are being left with no qualifications in a more and more testing economy. Social media has played a part in plummeting self-esteem, but it's a lack of education and affordable housing that has underpinned a spiral of the traditionally positive outlook displayed by the younger generation. The older generation now reports the highest levels of life satisfaction. This Guardian article finishes by saying that the latest report is a warning sign to governments that have put the welfare of older people over the younger generation for generations now. And if young people cannot establish themselves in the workplace with a decent home and time and money to visit friends and family, the ramifications will then be felt by the old. There'll be slower economic growth and fewer funds to support the retired. So just a nice, happy note to end the press review.
Yeah, it's very depressing, isn't it? Yeah. Poor youngsters. I do feel sorry for you guys. I do feel very sorry for you guys. Not easy. Thanks very much, Leo. Leo Agoon with the papers on France 24.